loosened up that bolt when it was on the ground, and this one. Rear brake off. Now this one. That way. It's there. What loop inside still. Some watery substance inside, maybe oily. This washer is here between this one. You don't need to even loosen the chain. This is pretty smooth. No problems visible there. Only that oily stuff here, and looks like that other bearing might have been boiling. I removed the brake holder and loosened this one, so you can tap it now through. Doesn't feel that bad. The actual ball bearings felt alright, but this needle bearing inside this one, if I reinstall the axle and try to turn it, it's pretty stiff and there's some unevenness feeling. So I think the needle bearing is shot. What is the good part is that it looks like this axle has no markings. At least there's just some coloring, nothing else. It felt real smooth. Looks pretty fine, but old bearing. So the new bearings are in. This old one had 2 bearings. It has this ring, plastic ring that keeps them together. But there's no gap even with the ring. So these new bearings have smaller groove so that plastic doesn't fit there. So I'm gonna install these like this, side by side. And I could remove these ones, but I think there's factory grease isn't there, so no need to. I don't think this causes any problem. Again, I use the old bearing to push these in, but don't hit it too much, because, and I always hit on the outside ring so the bearing doesn't damage. Also, I use this hardwood that I shaped so it fits to the outer ring. You hit it with the hammer all around. There's definite sound change when it's hitting bottom, so it's like straight click when you hit. There's no, when it's still going, the sound is somewhat different. And again, I don't hit this inner ring, only the outer. So I keep it a little bit like this, and don't hit on the seal. And now the lock ring. Looks like Triumph was used copper slipped here, so it doesn't stick to the aluminum So I'm gonna use this one also. Looks like this one also had that copper slip. So let's put a little bit that one. Just don't get it to the bearing. This is the ring that holds. This one is kind of hard to get in, but I had these kind of pliers. But even then it takes some force. Axle is back on. Now we get this washer here. And the cast drive. The hub is back. Rear brake on. Chain adjusted approximately. You cannot tighten this one much before the tire is on and the thing is on the ground. Back to the sun. So this was like 140 Newton meters and the lock ring back on. Remember to tighten this one so the chain doesn't get loose. Brake caliper bolts. And this one is also 140 also, and tap this locking position back to the groove so it doesn't loosen up. And check that the chain is, this is even a little on the tight side for speed. As you see, I'm pressing the rear. Now the chain is too tight.